Happy Friday, y'all. Welcome to Plant-Based Made Easy. My name is Chef D Malfi, and I'm so excited to be here with you today because we're doing something a little different on today's show. I have my very first guest in-house with us who's going to be hanging out. She's going to be giving a little commentary on the recipe that we're making today, which, by the way, because it's Friday, we are making a delicious and healthy sweet treat as we do every single Friday. So today we're making spiced pumpkin blondies for my favorite Blondie and my new friend, social media influencer, Cassydy. I'm going to welcome her here. Cassydy, what's up, girl? Thanks so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. Hey, everyone. Happy Friday the 13th.
God, I'm nervous about Friday the 13th in 2020. What could happen today? Yeah.
I have a seatbelt on and a helmet close at hand. So
I heard that 2020 is like a blend of a bad tarot deck and Cards Against Humanity. So here we are, Friday the 13th. Hopefully we don't die today.
Great analogy. If we die, at least we'll have some yummy food in our bellies. So there you go.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so I see that you have a hot drink. What are you drinking?
I am drinking a lovely oat milk mocha. It's not hot, it's iced, but I like to drink things in a mug. So
yeah,
it's really yummy. I'm really into oat milk right now. It's something that is new to me, and I'm newly completely off of dairy, so it's tasty. I don't know. I'm really
cool.
into it.
Oh, we haven't talked about that yet. That's really exciting. How long have you been off dairy?
Well, what's interesting is I was born and wow, there you go. I was born, everybody.
You were born.
I was born. It was many moons ago, and I was actually lactose. I was allergic to dairy, allergic to milk.
Yeah.
And I guess I just ignored that down the way and was drinking all the dairy, eating all the ice cream. My first job was at Ben & Jerry's. And as I got older, I just really started to realize, especially actually during COVID, where I had time to, which is still going on, where I had time to really test things out, that it was really affecting my mental health, my physical health, just all the things. So I completely cut it out probably about 6 months ago. And it's been an awesome change. My skin's getting better. I feel better. I don't have as much bloat. Started with almond milk, and then just my research led me to oat milk, and it makes me happy in my life. So, oat milk for the win. Oat milk for the win.
I love it. And then everyone that's watching, Geraldine, hello. Karen Champagne, hello. They like our yellow beanies. So we're twinning today, folks. We planned this a little in advance just because it wasn't planned on Tuesday night when we were texting, and we both happened to have a yellow beanie on. So here we go. We're debuting them for you today.
Here you go.
I'm feeling beanie ready for these pumpkin spice blondies. I'm going to show you how to make them. All right, Cassydy and everyone here. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to do is kind of introduce you to the different variation of ingredients. I love blondies because they're a little lighter than chocolate brownies. They're just as decadent, but they're not going to leave you feeling kind of like, like overly full, overly like indulged. They're just perfect, I think. So I'm going to make something that's super simple. This is like a totally streamed down version. First thing that we need is flour, and I'm going to tell you, you can use any flours you want for all of our peeps on the line who are whole food, plant-based, and or gluten-free. I recommend getting a really nice gluten-free baking flour. I like Bob's Red Mill. You can use this. You just need 1 cup. You could also use whole wheat pastry flour, which is fantastic. Make sure it's pastry flour because that's going to keep it really light and delicious. And then we had a request. Somebody actually made this recipe a month early because they bought the cookbook early. They said, can you use almond flour in this? So I did a little experiment and I pre-made these blondies with almond flour, and they are phenomenal. So if you are trying to sort of do kind of the raw, more paleo version, check out the almond flour. And this recipe is great for swapping out any of your flour. So it doesn't matter. You could even use oats and then pulverize them and make a little oat flour mix. So I'm going to start with about a cup of flour. And I think I'd made an almond flour version yesterday, as I said. So today I'm going to do whole wheat and just kind of compare the two. 1 cup. And then to this, I'm going to add a bunch of other ingredients like my flavor agents. So I really love right now, obviously, cinnamon is king during this time, followed by queen nutmeg. Yes. Now you can get these in a pumpkin spice like spice mix. Usually it comes in 1 container, but I want to really kind of make it super rich. So I'm going to use a ton of cinnamon. So like more than like probably about a tablespoon, between a teaspoon and a quarter and a tablespoon. And I'm going for that full tablespoon because I really, really love it. Like super cinnamon kissed. And then nutmeg, go ahead and throw it in. I'm also going to throw in some cloves because I really want that warmth from these ingredients. And then I'm also going to throw in a little allspice and ginger because I really like these. This is just an addition. And you can throw in any other ingredients, like cardamom would be fantastic. If you love that floral essence of cardamom, throw that in. And then you need obviously like a leavening agent. So I'm going to use baking powder, goes right in. And then a tiny, teeny bit of salt. I'm just going to use like a couple pinches. It ends up being just like a quarter of a teaspoon or an eighth of a teaspoon. And if you're salt-free, go ahead and leave it out. That's it. Simple. Yeah. That was like less than a minute. Come on. Anyone can do this. Give this a little mix, a whirly whirl. And while I'm doing this, Cassydy, I'm really excited for you to kind of showcase and explain to us, what you do as a social media influencer. So will you tell me more about your brand and how you influence online on social media?
Absolutely. So what I do as a social media influencer is scream on a daily basis and pull my hair out. So before I started, I had very long, luxurious hair, and this is a wrap. This is what social media influencing life does to you. So I started out, before I was a social media influencer, I was the director of business development for in the legal world. My husband is a trial lawyer because I really like to have, I like pain. So I decided to marry a lawyer as well. And it was a job that did not fulfill me. Didn't have a lot of creative freedom and just, wasn't nothing exciting. No time to, research things like what type of oat milk do I like? And so I decided on a whim, on a vacation with my boyfriend, now husband, that I was going to quit my job with no contingency plan and not give a 2-week notice, which is career suicide in my industry, in my former industry. And I panicked after I hung up the phone and started, didn't know what to do. I was like, my parents are going to be mad at me. I mean, I'm well over 30 at that point. They're going to hate me. I'm going to get in trouble. And I was like, what can I do? I need to have a job right now. And I was holding my phone and I just said, I'm going to be a blogger. I was extremely private, had no idea what I was doing, but I knew this was my job and I had to make it work and I needed to be successful immediately. And that was maybe 5 years ago or 4.5. And
wow.
I started out just kind of copying everyone and not being myself and being authentic, but fashion, travel, and then I started researching and figuring it out as best I could. I mean, really researching, which, I had that background and took it, recently and started talking about things that were truly authentic to me and being a voice and not an echo. And really looking at my platform and thinking, what value am I adding? Am I just saying what the person next to me is saying? Am I saying what I think people want me to hear? And you'll see if you go to my feed that I was pretty active, and then you see this stop and this big gap, and when you're not posting, you're not making money and you're not building your audience and you're not building your brand. But I had to step back and kind of do a Control-Alt-Delete, and I did that. And it's been the best thing I've done. My got a lot of interesting things coming out soon. So definitely stay tuned, and very soon. I took another hiatus. I didn't think the election would go as long as it did. I thought I'd wake up on Wednesday. It seems like 18 years ago, but it was like what, two weeks ago. I thought we'd have a winner and I had all these plans, and obviously it's taken a different turn because that's sometimes just how democracy works. And I also leveraged my personal brand as a front-facing influencer to provide strategic counseling, strategic services to brands, and how to work with influencers, how to do contracts, how to grow your brand, how to understand statistics. And that's something that really fulfills me. I absolutely love enabling. I'm going to say enabling, that's kind of a negative word. I love providing insight and seeing brands and individuals grow with that so that their voice can reach a greater audience. So
Yeah, you certainly empower people. That's for sure. Like that's your special sauce. I feel like, and you just do it naturally, just in conversation. So I can imagine your life was really
a year ago,
busy.
I would have never taken that compliment, but thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Is it really busy? Are you saying
your life
really
was
busy?
I was going to say your life was really busy around the election. So I'll tell you how I'm going to tell everyone how we met really fast. So we met, I was canvassing, which for those of you who aren't familiar with that term, it really just means in this kind of climate, like bringing political literature to certain homes in your neighborhood, literally walking around and putting on people's doors, door hangers for how to actually vote Democratic all the way down the ballot. And we do it from the local level all the way up. And it was something that my husband and I have done in the past, but this year in particular, we got really into it. And one day you requested some door hangers, and our house was the house for all the door hangers. So we drove it over, and this like fierce as hell queen is sitting outside waiting for us to pull up with her door hangers. And I looked at Danny and I was like, okay, yeah, like that's my friend. I don't know her, but that's my friend. And immediately we started connecting. And what I noticed about you is the power of your voice, the power of your influence. You have such conviction, lady, and I absolutely adore that about you. You inspire me, and you inspire everyone that you share your content with. So you've been busy because you were canvassing. And here we are. We can celebrate because of the election.
My
and all
gosh,
the work we've done.
What a bunch of work, and that's also where my platform kind of changed. It changed with the BLM movement is when the first time I kind of actually started to use my voice and come out there and take a stance. I've always shied away from that because of my husband's job as a trial lawyer, because my political feelings do not align necessarily with those of my family. And I've always been active behind the scenes. I actually was very active on another campaign about 12 years ago for somebody who, didn't win. And I switched my political affiliation, which has been crazy. And this year I was like, you know what? I have a platform. I have a voice. If all I'm doing is telling people how cute shoes are, which no disrespect to that influencer, I sometimes need to know about cute shoes.
Girl,
like, I have things I have to say, and I'm at the age. Why am I trying to please everyone else? And I'm not going to be able to if I'm not pleasing myself. So yep, you dropped me door hangers. I probably had my vote mask. That was kind of my platform to start, was just vote. No matter what, vote. This is what a privilege, we in America have to be able to use our voice and vote. And if you don't vote, I told people, leave my platform. I don't want to hear you. You're not doing your job as a citizen. So, move along. Bye, Felicia.
And there's so many different platforms and spaces where people can join. So it's really interesting. I'm going to do a little thing while I'm saying this last piece, which is it's really interesting. Even though this is a food platform and you all are here, and I'm so grateful that all of our viewers are here, and some of you are coming back day after day. We've had really no negative comments at all. We've had a lot of support, and that feels so great. This is my first time sort of embarking in the live space. It's my first time ever doing anything quite like this, and now I've done it consistently for almost 8 months, every single weekday, Monday through Friday. And it is astounding and so inspiring and hopeful for me that we have seen almost all positive comments. And for people that have said to me, there's just 1 or 2 or 3 comments that I can remember, like, oh, this is not a political platform. I say to that, actually, it can be. Actually, it can be, because the foods that we eat are just as important as all of the other decisions that we made. And as a plant-based person, and as a people in a community that loves vegan cooking, it's all related. So, I mean, that's my 2 cents, and I just wanted to offer that because I think it's super important just to sort of say that and be really clear about it.
And we don't have to. People don't have to. You can be my friend if you didn't vote for the exact same thing or person or proposition or.
That's right.
It's not about this. We can agree to disagree. I don't know if I talked with you about that. It's like, why we need to get to a place where we agree to agree.
That's right. We agree to agree.
To agree to disagree. Go ahead.
You said we need to get to a place to agree to agree. I'm just repeating what you just said because it's so important. We got to get to that place.
It's easy. It doesn't have to be this big, okay, well, if it, this big thing, it's okay, you believe in this, I believe in that.
Right.
We're not going to come together at this moment on that exact thing. But for food, for example, you agree that government should have all control. The other person or the other's not you personally, but this side believes
Yeah.
this. The other side,
Sure.
like, can we agree that what we put in our bodies is essential, and the way that we choose to fuel ourselves can affect all these other things? Can we agree
Right.
to agree there? Yes. Okay, great. Let's
Right.
end there. And then what
That's
can we
right.
do to agree? Can we agree to do more research on what plant-based, diet is? Can we agree to try oat milk? You love your whole milk, that's fine. I've tried it, so I can speak to it. But have you ever tried oat milk? No, it's disgusting. You don't know. Try a sip. You'll like it.
You'll like it. All right. Here's a little comment. This is from Barbara. She says, "You're such an inspiration. I feel so blessed to spend my short break from work with you." Thank you so much, Barbara. You've been a positive voice in our community, and we thank you. Thanks for being here. I'm going to come right back to the recipe because I need to make a vegan egg. All right. So now we're talking about the importance of vegan and plant-based cooking and living. Well, some of the things that I often hear is a worry from people, which is, if I switch to a plant-based diet or a vegan diet, I can't eat the same things. Not true, friends. You certainly can. All you need is a little kind of inspiration and education in the kitchen. That's where me, Chef D Malfi, comes in to help you, because I really do want to help you. I truly believe this is what I meant to do. So I want to tell you that you can make a vegan egg and it will work. It will work so well in any baking. So this is how you do it. Simple. 2 tablespoons of flaxseed that's been pulsed up or ground. And I'm just going to show you in the overhead cam, if you've never seen it. It just kind of looks like flaxseed dust. And it has a little bit of a nutty flavor. It's really nice. And you can either get it pre-ground. I'm using flaxseed meal right here from Bob's Red Meal, which I really like. Or you can actually just take whole flax seeds and grind them yourself, and you'll get even more nutrients because they won't have oxidized in the bag or in the transit time to get to your home. So you take flaxseed meal or flaxseed flour. It's usually called the same. It goes by both names. And then you add to this 4 tablespoons of water and just let it sit for a second. I'm just going to mix it up. And that's it, you guys. Seriously, this is a flax egg that is also known as a vegan egg or a plant-based egg, and it works in baking. So don't ever think, oh, I can't have my favorite baked goods. You absolutely can. You can make anything from scones, biscuits, cookies, crackers, to even a wedding cake with a flaxseed egg. It doesn't matter. Now, you might be thinking, well, what about if I want a regular egg? I can't just take this flaxseed egg and put it in a pan and make scrambled eggs. No, you can't do that. That's a different type of recipe, and one that I'm going to show you on another day. And I've showed you many, many options for that. But for today, we're just talking about the vegan egg for baking. The only thing you need to do is let this sit for 5 minutes, and then we'll add it to the other ingredients. And the other thing that I want to add right now, while I have this sort of break in our combo, is a little pumpkin pack. So I want to talk to you about pumpkin pack. It's the seasonal ingredient. Yeah. If you find yourself at the market and you see an entire, display of pumpkin puree or canned pumpkin, also known as pumpkin pack in the industry, get yourself several cans, because you're going to use this all season long. I love this because it's super high in a lot of vitamins and minerals. How do I know that? And how can you remember this? It's because of the color. So anything, as we talk about eating the rainbow, anything that is super brightly colored, that is an indicator that nature is telling you, eat me. Eat me. So pumpkin is no exception. It's really great. You can use this in smoothies, in dressings. You can use it to make baked goods like we're using. So I'm going to use half a can of the pumpkin pack, and I think I'm going to go for it in a bowl here. Oops. And if you can't find pumpkin puree, another kind of cool fun fact is you can use a sweet potato in a can. And if you didn't know this, a lot of pumpkin puree in the can for Thanksgiving time or the month of November is actually a blend of sweet potato and pumpkin. And the reason they do that is because they can't actually cultivate that many pumpkins and then have enough of the canned goods as they need. So they usually do a blend. And they won't tell you that on the can, but it's so similar in flavor that it works. So either one will work. And hey, your can may actually be already blend of sweet potato and pumpkin. All right, we have a question here that's coming from Barbara. Oh, is that Thrive Market? Yeah, Barbara, you're just reminding me. This is Thrive Market, you guys. I love it. Get into it. Cassydy, are you into Thrive Market? It's really great. It's a membership site. It is a wonderful 30% off retail prices of everything is basically direct to consumer. So there's no brick and mortar grocery store. You do it all online and it's fantastic. But don't feel like you have to shop at Thrive Market. You can get pumpkin puree kind of anywhere. I'm now going to mix the flax egg into the pumpkin, but I'm going to show you first. Take a look at this. See how kind of like jelly it is? So it's like just like an egg. That's exactly what we want. I'm just giving it a little good shake so you can really see it. That's what we want. The longer it sits, the stickier it gets. We don't need it overly sticky here. It's going to do wonders with the baking powder and everything is going to stick together just fine. But I'm going to blend them together now. And then the last ingredient that I need to add is a little of coconut sugar, a little bit of coconut sugar, like a half a cup, you guys. This recipe is super like low sugar. So it's not overly sweet. That's what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes cocoa brownies can be like really rich and decadent. These blondies are going to be kind of lighter and really nice. So I'm using half a cup of coconut sugar. Here's what it looks like. If you've never seen it, it kind of looks like sand, but more brown and very dry. And it comes usually in just a bag, just like regular sugar does. And it will say coconut sugar. Highly recommend get yourself organic coconut sugar if you can. Here's the little labels. You know that it has, this is USDA organic, so it's not going to be GMO. It also has this quality global assurance label, which is really important. And I'm just going to throw this in. Now, the last of the wet ingredients, a little coconut oil. I love coconut oil. I use this on so many more things than just in my kitchen. I sometimes will, if I have a little like ashy skin, just get in there with the coconut oil. I truly do. Some people put it in their hair. Cassydy, have you ever tried coconut oil in your hair?
I actually have.
Yeah.
I have tried it for a lot of things. There's
nice.
So many benefits. It's such a wonderful thing to just always have in your bathroom, in your kitchen, all the places. Put it in your living room.
All the places.
Live your dream. Yep.
It's really great. And as far as baking is concerned, there's usually 2 different types of coconut oil. Cassydy, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I'm going to educate you right now on coconut oil too as well. So there's usually 2 different types in market. One is a triple filtered or usually a filtered. This is also called refined, and that's what this is. This is the green label. And this is just Trader Joe's labeling. So every manufacturer is going to do it a little different. This is refined coconut oil. And where this is good is if you really want to put it on your hair, your body, or let's say you want to cook with it, but you don't want to smell like coconut oil. This is what you want. This is no aroma and no flavor. So it's good for cooking if you don't want the flavor, and it's good for beauty if you don't want the smell on you. And then if you want something that's more pure, you can get the organic virgin coconut oil. And usually at Trader Joe's, it's the white label here. And this is going to give you that aroma and that flavor. And friends, for me, I really opt in for the virgin when I'm cooking because I really like that coconut flavor, but that's just my preference. You can definitely opt in for the refined. Absolutely. So I'm just going to give this a quick mix. And I know this obviously needs to bake in the oven. So I always have to do this ahead of time. And so let me show you how I would combine these. Cassydy, do you bake at home? Are you a baker?
So I'm definitely in the junior varsity level cooking situation. It's not my God-given talent or it's not my forte. I love to bake. Baking
you love what?
I love to bake though. I mean, right. I absolutely love it. It's cathartic.
Totally. Oh my gosh. Especially this time of year, right? Like who doesn't love to bake during the November, December months?
I think that's what they're that's what they're about.
That's what they're for. Absolutely.
100%. It's a great thing just to do. Like my husband and I will do it. It's just it's science, it's math, it keeps your brain going, and then you have something delicious afterwards that you know that you made. I mean, you actually know what's in. You don't have to worry about what ingredients or you know what ingredients because you made it. Yeah, that's pretty rad.
And even if you made something like out of a box, whatever, you still feel like you made it. You can still feel excited and proud that you did something. You got your hands dirty, right?
You were a part of it.
That's right. All right, I'm going to now combine the dry and the wet ingredients. And because I'm using flour, you guys, I'm using wheat flour, whole wheat specifically, I really need to be very careful about how I mix this up. Yeah, because we don't want to develop that really cool protein that everyone likes to talk about called gluten. We don't want to develop it. Okay. Now, this is a quick bread. It's a brownie. Quick breads are like muffins and brownies and scones and cookies and biscuits. These are all called quick breads for good reason. They're quick breads because they actually kind of just use the wheat flour as a glue instead of kind of to develop a chewy, stretchy, bready kind of situation. That, my friends, would be like a chewy, bready situation is a regular standard, either a yeast dough or a regular bread dough. And that's where we really want to develop the gluten. So that's why you kind of roll pizza dough, or you roll pasta dough, or you roll bread dough and roll dough and all of that, because you really want it to be kind of like, you want it to like pull apart when you've made your end product. But for this, I just kind of want to bring the flour together kind of as quickly as possible. And I'm kind of I don't really want to mix this, overly mix this, and I'm seeing that I'm maybe taking a little bit longer than I would. So whatever you can do to kind of fold in the ingredients, the better. So I'm kind of like, I can see specks and streaks of flour. Just kind of like fold everything in. Yeah. And oh, I forgot to mention, you want the coconut oil melted. All right. So this looks good. I can see that it kind of looks like, well, it looks like brownie dough. I mean, it looks like brownie batter. It's nice. It's thick. It has a nice blondie kind of pumpkin spice color. Yum.
Oh, I
right?
wish I could smell it.
Oh my God, it smells so good in here, and it's not even baked yet. All right. So now, last thing, obviously you want to bake it off. I'm going to do 8 by 8. Put a little piece of parchment paper. This is so helpful. This is helpful for cleanup, and it's helpful for removing it. And then just put your batter right down into it. You don't want to use a Silpat for this because you really want it to go around the edges, and the Silpat is not pliable enough. You need parchment paper. You could also just skip the parchment paper, and you can simply just use a sprayed 8 by 8 baking dish. And I recommend doing it just like this in a brownie form. A lot of times people will ask, well, can you do like muffins, or can you do like, yes, you can do any of those, but don't do it with brownie batter. Do that with like muffin batter. You can turn a muffin into a loaf, but you can't really turn a brownie into a loaf as easily. There's something about kind of getting a thin layer that you want. And you can see I have some streaks, so I'm just kind of like getting it all the way to the edges.
I have a question for you, Chef.
Yeah.
If I did want to, for any reason, I have parchment paper on me now. And the reason I'm not in the kitchen is we're having some work done. So the kitchen is unusable, or I'd be cooking along with you, baking. But if for some reason I didn't have parchment paper and you mentioned that I could spray, what spray would you recommend?
Yeah, I would do like coconut oil just to match the coconut oil flavor, or you could do canola oil spray. And truly, honestly, you could also use like a little olive oil. If that's your last resort and you just had a little olive oil, like all you need is like a tablespoon or two, put it right on the baking dish, and then use a paper towel to just spread it all around. And that's it. Simple.
Awesome.
All right, now 375-degree oven, that's it. This is going to take anywhere between 35 and 45 minutes. So I'm going to pop this in and let it go. And I'm just going to let this cook for like 30 seconds, and then I'm going to show you the TV ready version. But before I do that, I just want to ask and get your like reaction. Okay, so how are you feeling about the outcome of the election? Just really quickly. I already can anticipate what you might say.
I am definitely tired. I actually had a candidate, and it was just yesterday locally that the election was called in her favor. So I also know that the election isn't certified, and there's a process, and I fully believe and support in that process. And at the same time, I'm really damn happy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I hadn't been breathing for 4-ish years.
Yeah.
And, the days after the election, and I was an official election observer. So I, in order for me to speak about how that thing, how that process works, I needed to learn firsthand. But, it'll be what it will be. But I've been afforded the opportunity to breathe. And, you know, I just hope that we can come together slowly as a country and start to heal, and that, you know, we allow the due process to be done, and where it stands at the end, you know, I will hopefully take another really big deep breath, and there might be an audible yell, but that's my belief. You know, I just it feels good to breathe.
It totally does. Yeah. And you've already said it, but in your opinion, you know, what do you think we can do to come together in our politically divided world? You mentioned we can agree to agree. And I think that that's brilliant.
It's, you know, I don't agree, you know, with everything my husband says. And
right.
you have to kind of choose your battles, and what one person may deem a battle, someone else may not. But we just have to find the little things and realize that at the end of the day, and I mean, this has been said, it's not, you know, it's nothing novel. Once the election's certified, and the, you know, the president is is official, or the, you know, January 20th, no matter what, we're still going to be neighbors. We're still going to have family members, and we still are going to have a voice. And you know, it's not over because, you know, the day has come and gone. It's how we choose to inspire others, acknowledge others, make sure that we see each other, you know, and people like to talk and people forget to listen. And I hope that, you know, we can start listening more actively, and, you know, research and not just believe what people are telling us. But, you know, we have access, everyone here that's watching right now, you have access to a phone or a computer or internet. You know, it goes both ways. We have to listen, you know, and research and be able to substantiate, you know, how we're feeling. You don't just because those days are that ship sailed. You know, I want to know why, and I want people to, you know, use the tools they have to just educate themselves more, and attempt to educate others, especially our youth. You know, that's really where things are important. I don't have children yet, but that doesn't mean that I'm not responsible for my next door neighbor's child and being an example. So, you know, that's just,
I love it.
It's simple, you know, kind of like this recipe. It's easy. You just have to do the work. You just have to fold a couple things. You just have to, you know, put a little paper down. You have to just, you know, that's it.
Yeah.
Be patient. It's just like recipe, you know, that's life. You just have to be patient, fold things in, spread a little kindness, you know, a pinch of this, a pinch of that, you know, and if you mess up in a recipe, it can always be fixed. You know, somehow you can, I put too much of this in. Well, what else, you know, science tells me I need to put a little bit of this in, and it will, you know, make that's life, you know, and at the end of the day, if life is a pumpkin spice blondie brown, I mean, life's good.
Life's good.
Life is sweet. The sweet life.
It's a new day. It's a new dawn. Thank you for your comments, your thoughts, your perspective. It's so refreshing. I love it. And I have a spiced pumpkin blondie for you. Look at these. All right. This is coming to your home later. You guys take a look. These are so yummy and so soft and easy and delicious and nutrient dense and all the things. Get your beanie on. Hopefully it's a yellow beanie. Get a sweater on. Enjoy your little spiced pumpkin blondie. If you try this recipe and you make it a different way than I've done it, you added a different type of flour or sugar, whatever, take a photo, will you, and pop it into our Facebook group, Plant-Based Made Easy. We are 2,500 people and growing every single day. You guys, we just started this Facebook group, so this is kind of phenomenal. I never knew that this was such an incredible conversation that people wanted to have, not just here in the United States, but globally. So I want to especially thank all of our participants and our community members from different parts of the world that are outside of my little bubble here in sunny Southern California, but everywhere from Thailand to Abu Dhabi to Turkey to India to Spain. I thank you guys so much. I am so grateful to be on this journey with you. And I want to also just tell you, if you're interested, I'm doing an amazing Thanksgiving Celebrate with Plant-Based Made Easy private lesson. And that's going to be held next Sunday on November 22nd at 4 p.m. Pacific. If you can't make the live, you get the recording sent to you. You also get, for joining, a cookbook that I'm making just for this class, which comes with an amazing grocery list to make your trip to the market for Thanksgiving super easy. And everything is going to be so yummy on this menu. It's 5 courses. It's going to feed 6 people with leftovers. And it's all going to be super whole food friendly, gluten-free, really good for the body, mind, and the spirit. So consider joining us for that, please. And Cassydy, if you won't mind, I'm going to just taste these because I taste every single time. I'm sorry that I can't offer you one.
That's absolutely, Chef.
All right. Oh, wow. They're so soft. They just kind of like, oh, you guys, yum. I'm going to give this food a little gratitude. Thank you, Pumpkin Spice Blondie. Thank you, food. Thank you, God. Here we go.
I'm so jealous.
You should be. These are so good. So yummy. Yummy, yummy. You guys have to try this. So easy. Cassydy, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
This was such a great chat. I really enjoyed hanging with you. And you guys, please check out Cassydy's Instagram page at Cassydy, spelled with 2 Y's. She's phenomenal, y'all. And I just want to just say, you think that she's an influencer, you've not seen anything yet. Get on her page. She has a robust community of over 200,000 followers that love her and honor her and value her word and perspective every day. So maybe you can become one. And join me next week, you guys, for week 3 of our Plant-Based Made Easy cookbook. If you haven't actually downloaded the cookbook yet, it's right here. You can get your own downloaded copy. And we'll see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you,
Chef. Guys. Bye. Bye, Cassydy. Bye, everyone.
Bye.